Race 3 on Saturday. Our goals for Max are a little looser on the main upwind and freaky at the start. He's got to be more aggressive. He's got to push the line harder, which he's doing. Preston messed up the windward mark the last race. Went from 3rd to not good. I'm not sure what happened there. Our goals for Bella now are to keep picking good, clear lanes like she's doing. If she ever gets next to Anton especially, or the yellow, black, and white striped boat over there, just speed test with them and just try to race those guys. They're not necessarily the smartest, like they're just fast sailors. So if you get near them, just drag along with them. They sail fast all the time.
10023,
wow.
9983.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. She needed to ease her main. And she doesn't need to round an end, so that's okay. She just remembers nationals where you had to round an end almost all the time because there was a ton of John recalls. But there was no round the ends flag up. That could be my fault a little. I should explain that to her. Okay, Preston. Looks good. So, we were over early. There had not been an I flag up, so we didn't need to round an end. I'm a lot about speed and sailing smart and clean, and she probably just habitually rounded the end because at nationals you had to round the end all the time because the I flag was up for the whole event. Or at least, yeah, pretty much the whole event. But she's doing fine. She's got to trim a little looser when she's in tight spots, but look at that. She is just killing Joey right there. That's the difference between fast and not fast. One boat is just sailing and the other one is hunting. She is just hunting for it. That's the difference. Anton rounding first. This next guy got about 6th or 5th at nationals, the black, yellow, and white striped boat. So these guys are 30 A-Fleet regattas in their life, maybe 20 for Anton. I mean, Anton's only 11. And he's the national champ. And he's the under 12 champ. And he's the Dutch shoe champ. Just an amazing year. You look at where his boom is. You look at where he just sails by feel. The other guy's lying down. That's the Morgadio style. That's more of an A-Fleeter, really good sailor style. Very low. Can see his telltales more than the wind. Here we go. Late roll, flatten. Late roll, flatten. There we go. And then Bella's gonna come around here in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. Can you believe it? And that buoy was further upwind, so she's rounding. She gained here. So over early, already back to 7th. Very good job. Oh, Preston? 360 going on. Race 3, last beat. We should have seen this coming. This is a little bit of luck here, but Max is just gained a ton on these boats. So now we got a little light air. Preston needs to look at Max and see Max going higher than him. I don't know what he's doing right now. So there you go, 1 too loose, 1 too tight. Now they're coming into a big puff. They probably should tack back because those boats are lifted. So even Preston should go ahead and get back, dig back to the right here. C1 Fleet Race 3. So we got some work to do with Maddie on tacking. We also need to point higher up into the wind in the last 30 seconds. When we're not threatened, she had times where she could have gone higher. This time she's much better. Although I wouldn't start next to Taylor. Taylor is very quick. Get away from the red boat. Right now, Maddie should be heading high up. Get away from Taylor. Okay, here we go. This is going to be a better race for her. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 8, 7, 2, 7. I don't like these types of starters. I don't like to practice this at this age. Rounding the committee boat starts is not what we practice at this age. We got to practice 1/3 of the way from the committee boat, the middle of the line, and 1/3 from the pin. And we got to get really good at it. And then when we get enough skills at the top of the A fleet, then we'll start trying to win the pin every 2 or 3 races if it's favored. But we can't try to win the pin every race. All that does is light a spark plug under somebody else to come hunt us down. So we start in the middle, or 1/3 of the way from the middle. Perfect, Preston.
10023.
Yes, Preston. Right next to the 2 boats called over early. And there's Bella kind of in the middle, surviving. Yes, I had to bail out there, sorry. Anton tacked on to starboard because I was about to say he was on a bad header. See, this kid's on a lift. So what this kid does is he does not pinch at all. He goes fast, fast, fast in the lift. That's a pretty decent starboard angle right there. Oh, look at Bella. She's in clear air, barely. Okay, so goals for Max this race were a little looser outhaul, a little looser Cunningham. Outhaul didn't change much. Leadboard not quite so far forward, and try to go faster through the water. When we go faster through the water, it creates lift on the leadboard and rudder, and it makes more wind. So people that pinch go too close to the wind. Don't build the wind strength in them. Too tight, main's too tight. Here's Preston. I'm not sure what happened there. He looks like he's too loose on his main trim. The sail looks too full. I would trim in till he gets up. We're gonna go next race, more main sheet tension. Right now he's flying. He should have wrinkles in the sail. When you're fast, you're clicking in the mainsail a click or 2. And that makes the mainsail flatter. The front of the main gets a wrinkle. Very good. The sail luffed too much on that tack. So when you watch your tacks, the sail should whap across. So you gotta turn just the right thing and you gotta roll it right as it's luffing. You gotta make sure it doesn't luff. That's why you're initially rolling. The most important part of the tack is the end. Wow, Preston is sitting in 3rd right here, 4th. So right paid, everybody should notice that. He hasn't been lighting it up today. And all of a sudden he comes out of the right, and so they should have taken note of that, and some of these guys probably did. I definitely would be going for the Lido. Try it. I'd try to get over here underneath Lido and see if I can come back a little here. Okay, I have to believe he did not see her when he tacked. So obviously we try to avoid tacking right on, but biggest strength is patience, and right now patience is paid, I think. I don't think he's moved up a ton, but he is ahead of Anton. He's ahead of these guys. These guys were very close to him. 8938, I think, was ahead of him a little while ago. He might be first, actually. That's first right there, 101.75. 10061, and Preston is just ramped up. So you see what he is there? Big puff, lift. He should look upwind. And he should be footing right now. He should not be squeezing. He should be going fast forward to try to get his bow more lined up with the boats to leeward. And there's nobody to his left that can get him. Bella's lifting, but who cares? She's not gonna pass him. He just needs to rip it, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now he's got the whole C1 fleet parked at the finish line here. He's going to the windward mark, the green one. Right now, I would ease the outhaul a 1/2 inch, I'd ease the Cunningham, I'd make sure the Vang's loose, and I would be heeling to leeward just a little. And then here's the Hunter. She just is in there hunting for lifts and speed constantly. There, she got it. Now she relaxes. As soon as she gets moving, she relaxes. But you can see, she's trying hard to get moving. See, luffing too much, dude. But great job. I think you're gonna round first. You gotta get this. I know this is a long clip. My arms are getting tired. Oh, Bella's gonna round 3rd. goes. Oh, he's running second. Great job, dude. She's rounding fourth. Okay, first A Fleet regatta here for Bella. She's right next to the national champ there. So now what she's doing is a speed test. I know we're trying to get a trophy or win, whatever, you know, we're trying to win. But our real goal is Sabot Nationals, and we're trying to learn as much as we can, and we go by the lee a little bit, or we'll copy the angle of that top few boats. We'll look at where their boom is, you know, and just copy a little for a while. And then we'll try to come to grips with what we think works, but sometimes we just copy a little. Yeah, baby, looks perfect. Okay, Preston has just sailed outstanding. I like the Lido side, just playing the shifts up that side. And now he just has to make sure nobody gets to one side or the other of him. And we also have to be aware of, this is race 4, I think, we have to be aware of that big power boat up there. So that can complicate things. Okay, so she's in Bella's about 3rd or 4th. We learned something here on this beat, that the right is not really bad, because Harrison gained on that. Cool, this is super fun, you guys. There is the B fleet going around the gates. Neither tack looks lifted to me. Starboard looks okay, port looks okay. 20 seconds to go for C1. Now we'll see if Maddie has the guts to push the line again. She has big guts. She really gets in there. And she has to keep doing that, because our boat handling will catch up with our knowledge. Her knowledge is better than her boat handling at this point. There's Taylor. Our goal for Taylor was to start where 20001 was. Yeah. That's okay. The problem with starting down there was it turned out there was no wind over there. And these guys are all taking off. Not a bad idea to start at the pin when the tide is flooding. In other words, the tide is going from our left to right. In Newport, it's never truly going left to right, but at least it's not going the other way. So the being at the pin, but it just turned out that there was not much wind down there. So that's what happens as we go through here. We learn to look for these things a little bit, like maybe we could have seen that. And I'm not sure exactly why it was light down there. It might have been the bad air from the B fleet. So there we go. So keep going. Now the good thing about Taylor is he got out to the right, and there's just obviously more wind here. So now what he does is he tries to cross as many people as he can. And when he gets only 3 or 4 left that maybe he's not quite crossing, he goes back to the right again. So he's got it's different every race. Right now he should make 861 tack, and then he should be tacking. Oh, never mind, 8618 ducked. Now Taylor can't tack because he's got 2001 right here. So that's it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's look at a boat that he's even with, 9567. Let's see what happens in the next couple minutes.